Do you also like how I'm not correcting you on that?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry.
I'm like, I'm scared, and you're just like, yep. Like, all right, cool.
Now, what I was going to say is one of these days, I'm going to break into your house and just, like, record an episode myself.
You could just do that on your phone.
No, but the sound would be good.
Break into my house.
Because you got a high-tech setup, and there'd be no video.
Not true. This setup is incredibly low tech.
It's more high tech than just my phone.
I guess that's true.
I'm gonna do it, and then you're gonna be like uploading and editing and stuff. Like, wait, why is there 40 extra minutes of footage and I'm not in it?
I don't know if you would commit to that though, because there was one time I asked you to record something by yourself and you forgot to do it.
I forget what that was.
Yeah, it was.
What was it?
It was when there was a time when like you and I couldn't record. I think because of schedules. And I was like, it would be cool because this was back in the day when I was like really concerned about skipping weeks, which like now I am still concerned about skipping weeks, but less so because I know that it's going to be fine. It's just like not the end of the world. But back in the day, I used to be really like, oh my God, people are going to think we're not committed and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, if you want to record a thing saying, hey, our schedules didn't line up, we'll be back next week. You were like, for sure. And then didn't do it. And like totally forgot.
Well, in my defense, you didn't remind me.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually so true. I didn't go out of my way to set you up for success, and so your failure is my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I just got a pain in my stomach of, like, being actually for real hungry.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take a break at some point and eat a snack, I think.
I mean, if you're looking for a snack.
Where would I find one of those? Not on my couch.
Look no further.
No, incorrect.
Look no further.
I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to look in that pantry.
Look no further.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Also, I'm not excited about this episode. This episode made me...
This was bananas,
like,
dude.
not to be dramatic, but I almost threw up all over the walls of my house. Not to be dramatic.
Giving you something.
Not to be...
Hold on. Can we show...
Okay, no, because you cannot come into my house and give unsolicited interior design opinions and also flame Rachel.
Do you know what's crazy, actually? Is you did ask, hey, did you notice this? And
no, I
like
didn't.
Inviting...
No, I noticed I asked you if you noticed the cock on my wall because there's a chicken head on my wall. You came in and started roasting Rachel for this beautiful literal Mona Lisa.
That's not what happened.
Yes, it is. I did not ask you if you saw it. I'm gonna freak out. This is how it ends for us. 7 years of friendship down the commode. I'm gonna snap. This is how it ends. There are times that things have changed in this living room, and you've come in and within the first 5 seconds haven't noticed, and I'll say, "Oh, it's a bummer. Like, I can't believe you didn't notice the like stained glass film or the shelf moving or whatever." That did not happen this time. And I purposefully didn't do it because I knew you would shit on Rachel.
I'm not shitting on Rachel.
I didn't. So that's not true. And that's inaccurate that I asked for your opinion. I did not do that.
I'm just choosing not to remember it that way.
That makes way more sense than me asking for your opinion. Your selective memory makes way more sense than that.
It's like, okay, we don't need to go into it. You and I have already gone
I
through
love
it.
Rachel, and she's never made
great.
a mistake.
I don't know about that.
I love Rachel. Rachel made some art, and
there's wall art, and there's a fucking typo,
there's a typo in it, but I love it because it's Rachel. And I stand by my girl. I stand by your decisions. And it's funny, too.
The thing is, there was the idea of it. There's the actual drawing.
Sure, the art of it, yeah.
And then you said she had it like then printed.
Yes.
So that's 3 stages where she could have caught this typo.
Yeah.
And then had it fucking framed.
Yeah.
4 times where she could have looked at it and gone, I don't think this is right.
I love her. I love
we love
Rachel.
you, Rachel.
I love Rachel.
That's some goofy goober shit,
I love Rachel so much. The other piece of this that I didn't tell you about is she showed this to me last night when it was like raining cats and dogs sideways. It was like nuts last night. And I had all of my stuff because I was coming back from a work trip after another gig. And I'm standing outside and like my like front porch, I guess it's like a stoop. It's not really a porch. There's a cover over it, so I'm not like standing in the rain, but I'm standing in the rain. You know what I mean? And I couldn't get to my keys because they're in the bottom of my backpack, and I have a key fob. Like I don't need to like turn my key to drive. And I ring the doorbell because I have all my shit in my hands. And Rachel doesn't come get the door. And I was like, oh, she's probably outside, like whatever. I fish around for my keys. I open the door and she's standing in the kitchen taking a video of me coming in the house to see the art for the first time. And the video is me going, oh my God, it looks so good. And I go, wait, are you filming? Wait, why didn't you answer the door? And she was like, because I wanted to get your reaction. So she has like 30 seconds of me.
She's just real
like ringing the doorbell, fishing around for my keys because she just wanted to get a video of it.
That's awesome.
Not that she could have taken a video from the door. She had to stand back here. It was like... And then there's a typo in it, and it's in a beautiful frame, and it's like...
That is a really cool frame.
So Rachel. It's thrifted. It was $10.
That is so stinking
I love
funny.
Rachel so much. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Or whatever. You do the theme?
Let's do the thing.
Welcome back to the Pyramid, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Amanda, and I'm your host every single freaking week, except for the weeks I'm fucking not. Bitch!
I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-hosts.
True.
This is already. This is off the rails. We're 5 minutes in. And it's off the rails.
Yeah, so true, bestie.
We're getting Mexican food and drinking wine and watching Drag Race after this.
I'm conflicted. I'm gonna have to consult Rachel when she gets home with Iggy. Iggy will show up. Please don't click off.
Which episode to watch or which season?
Which season? Because so we can talk about this live on air in front of a live studio audience.
Leah says do 5 because it's not quite as good, and then go to 7 because it's a little better.
True. I don't know. Do you know if she's watched season 8?
Yes.
Oh, did she like season 8 or no?
I think so.
Okay. Because season 5 obviously is like further back in time, and season 8 obviously is like closer to now. So I didn't know if you wanted to like keep doing retro, because like season 5's like 10 years ago, like vintage Drag Race, or if you want to pull a little bit closer to like
no, let's do 5 and then we'll work through the modern ones.
Okay. So we'll do 5 next.
Hell yeah.
And then we have to get to All-Stars at some point too.
We will. We've got time.
Yeah.
There's no
No,
rush
we
here.
don't. Our friendship has an expiration date.
And I thought it was going to be today when I was shitting on Rachel.
It almost was when you were lying on me in my house on my podcast.
I just don't remember it that
stupid.
way.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry. We're going to have to take a snack break at some point, or I'm going to get cranky. Get your fuck-ass phone off the base. I can hear it go
You know what's
every
so
time
funny
you get a text.
Is the last time you said that, when I was listening to the episode, couldn't hear a thing.
No, I could.
All right.
I am a heat-seeking missile for your imperfections. I noticed when you were fucking my shit up. Trust and believe.
Just
Trust
messing
and believe.
with you.
Okay, let's talk about our pyramids first.
Well, we have and then we can get into
then we can get into emails and bullshit like that. And by bullshit, love, not like bullshit, but like the bullshit. You know what I mean?
I do.
What's the bottom of your pyramid,
Bottom
bro?
of my pyramid are the 12,000 tornado warnings that we got.
And I got them while I was in Miami too for work, and I was
Cool.
like, MF, I don't care if there's. I mean, I do care, but like.
I don't need to know this.
I don't need to know this.
All right, for those who do not live in Middle Tennessee, we got a shitload of storms on like Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. And
they were bad. They were devastating to different areas of our state. That's
yes,
not what we're shitting
not
on.
me being insensitive.
Yeah.
There was devastation. People died, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. After saying people died is crazy, Eli. But the bottom, as it pertains to me, is I was laying in bed and this frightening alarm went off at like 2:50 a.m. or whatever.
It was I can count the number
so
of calls I got.
Crazy loud. And every single time there was a warning, that alarm went off. I got a phone call and a text, and then so those are all jarring, and I'm lying there awake, and I start to doze off, and another one happens again. Blah blah blah. My little brother, God love him, is terrified of storms, or takes them far more seriously than anyone else I've ever met, and would like text us and be like, "Hey, Eli, go check and make sure Edward, my roommate, is awake." And yada yada. I'm like, he's a grown man. He's also getting these alarms. And Edward texted in the thing. He's like, "I'm good. Like, we're good." And I didn't fall asleep. Woke up at 2:50 a.m. Did not fall back to sleep. And my actual wake up alarm went off at 6, but I was still already awake.
Yeah, I just counted 17 calls on Thursday from MetroGov.
Yeah,
being like, "Hey, it's raining." I'm like, "Hey, I know. I really know it's raining. Thank you so much."
Yeah,
and they were all accompanied by a voicemail and a text.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys.
So annoying.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Oh, I was about to say, I don't have my notes open, but I remember what it was. The bottom of my pyramid is kind of a champagne problem, but it does piss me off when I order food and it doesn't get delivered. This has happened to me the last 3 times I've used an ordering service.
I don't use them anymore.
I think I might have to not do it anymore.
That type of shit happens so frequently.
It's so annoying.
Order is wrong. It's cold.
Yes.
Or they just straight up don't bring it to you.
It's so frustrating. I ordered, like, again, this is like kind of a like very much a first world problem, but it does piss me off that I left last week on Tuesday to go to Miami for work. And so last Monday, I like obviously needed food, but I didn't want to go grocery shopping because I was going to be out. And so I ordered lunch to my office on Monday and it never showed up. And they said it was delivered and they took my money and would not give me a refund. I was so pissed. And it was Kava. It was Kava.
That's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Aren't they supposed to like...
It's the Chipotle of Mediterranean food. And they took my money.
That's wild.
I was really mad.
Which service was this? Calling out.
DoorDash. Fuck you, DoorDash.
Fuck you.
Uber Eats will give me my money back. It's happened a couple
don't care.
times and they'll give it back and that's fine. DoorDash reviewed my like request or whatever and was like, this didn't happen. You're a fucking liar, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, bitch, they never showed up with my food. Y'all are stupid.
I think it happened to Edward one time that maybe it was somebody else, but I'm remembering someone was like chatting with like a customer service person and they're like, my food didn't get delivered, and the person was like, can you send me a picture? And they're like,
they're empty hands.
yeah, they literally like, sent a picture of like
how
an
do I
empty
do that?
table.
Yeah.
And they're like,
no
do you
food.
see how there's no food here?
Like, what the fuck
I hope
do
the
you
person
eat?
on the other end was just like, oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Shit.
I hoped, I think it got stolen because like I was like following the little person and they went to Kava and they got my fucking food and then just like sped off down the highway with it, I guess. I was like, I hope somebody enjoyed it. Kava is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I never got my food. It pissed me off.
Yeah, they can look at the route that the driver took.
But the driver said it was delivered, but it wasn't. So it's like...
They can look at the thing. Like, they know where it was supposed to go, and they know where the driver didn't actually go.
Yeah. So annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
dumb.
what's the middle of your pyramid, bruh?
Middle of my pyramid is work right now. It's just really busy season, and my employees, one or two of my employees are being just like fucking whiny babies.
Yikes.
And we've talked
Hate
about this
whiny
before,
babies.
how some of my biggest pet peeves are like people that don't take accountability, people that can't be like self-sufficient, people that complain all the time.
Yes.
That's what I'm dealing with right
People
now.
who complain and are not solution oriented.
Yeah, it's just like they
don't
just
piss me
want
off.
to. And the thing, did you ever have this when you were teaching? How like some kids would complain about other teachers, be like, well, that teacher just can't teach.
Yes. Or like they just hate me.
My big no. The they can't teach or they won't teach anything or whatever. I have the biggest problem in the world with that because it's like, are you trying to learn?
Yeah.
Or are you just sitting back and expecting them to like force information into your fucking skull?
Right.
It seems to me like that is one of my employees in particular is just like, she seems to have the attitude that like Eli isn't like a manager in the way that I need. Like, well, are you willing to be managed? The answer to that riddle is no.
That's a good point.
You just complain all the time, and literally, regardless of what happens, there's a complaint.
Yeah.
And I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Fucking grow up.
Yeah. Why isn't that the bottom of your pyramid?
Because also I still love parts of work.
Yeah.
It's just work in general.
Yup. I know that's
I still
fucking
love
right.
my job.
I feel that. I feel that in the core of my being.
I still have other employees who are awesome.
Yeah.
Who like know that I have their best interests at heart, and even if it's not necessarily like how they might go about a situation, like, trust me in this.
Sure.
I promise I have my reasons for doing things. I promise things are going to work out just fine. Like, you got to trust me on this.
Sure.
And they like, one in particular is like super growth oriented and very ambitious, and like will come to me for advice and say like, is there any way I can like get involved with other parts of things? Can I just like watch you do your job?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Yes. That's dope.
Yeah.
And
taking initiative.
Yeah, she's very much that person. And so like some of my employees are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like one or two others are just
babies.
They're just babies.
I get that. I work with a lot of working in events sometimes, and I'm sure you feel this way too, especially working for a nonprofit, that like sometimes you just have long days. And like there are days that because of the company I work for and because of the way that the gig goes sometimes just like don't get to eat lunch, or sometimes don't get to eat dinner, and you have to power through and wait until you get a break, and then you can go get food, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. But I was there recently actually.
But my thing is always like, if I know I'm going into a chaotic gig, I'm going to pack food. I'm going to bring food with me to the gig because I'm afraid I won't be able to walk away for like lunch or dinner. And that's like worst case scenario, right? Like you should be able to get food and walk away, but sometimes you just fucking can't. And what pisses me off is men, which is like everyone else on my team except me and Gray.
You could just end the sentence right
It's just
there.
men in general.
What pisses me off is men.
I work on a team of all men except for one other girl who's just recently gotten hired. Very slay. Very slay of us to have a company of 40 people and 2 of them are women. Slay. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. It's a company of 30 and there are 4 women. That is the actual number. I'm not joking,
that's
bitch.
Crazy.
That's the actual number.
That is crazy.
And then we have a separate division that's only women, and it's the most profitable and the most put together. There might be a correlation there. Anyway, what pisses me off is men who, in my company, who mansplain things to me and then bitch about being hungry. And I almost said this to someone yesterday, and I didn't because I wanted to maintain some professionalism. But it's a man who's in his 60s who was bitching about the fact that we didn't get to walk away for dinner. And I wanted to be like, hey, how long have you been doing this? You've been doing this, what, twice as long as I've been alive? You know that there are days that you're not going to get dinner. Bring a fucking snack. It's not that hard. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm going to bring a snack in case I don't get to get dinner, and then I'm going to be pissed about not getting dinner later. But, like, being like, can't wait to complain about something outside of my control is so... That's dumb shit to me. I fucking hate that.
You're preaching to the choir here. I also hate people that complain about nothing.
Yeah. Pisses me off.
As we're here complaining about something.
Complaining about a bunch of bullshit, yeah. Complaining about other people that we can't control. The middle of my pyramid, you need to lock in, okay? The middle of my pyramid is the Justin Bieber crash out that's currently happening. Justin Bieber is crashing out.
Again?
Yes, in
He's
a
peeing
big
in a mop
way.
bucket and saying the N-word and...
Oh, no, not like that. But, like... He looks so fucking stupid because of the things that are going on. So you know who Selena Gomez is? Do you know who Benny Blanco is?
No.
Okay. Benny Blanco is a music producer who's worked with like a bunch of like really famous pop artists. Like worked with like Katy Perry and like people in that like pop music scene. Has worked a lot with Justin Bieber. Okay. The song Stay by the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber, that was like everywhere. You have definitely heard this song.
Probably heard it, yeah.
Benny Blanco produced it, and they're like Benny Blanco, Justin Bieber were BFFs for a long time.
Okay, what is Benny Blanco's gender?
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Assigned male at birth, still identifies as a man.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one of those names
cis man
that may have gone.
Benny. Yeah. Yeah. So Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber dated on and off for most of the 2010s for like a long time, and it was very toxic and very unhealthy from like what we can see on the outside. Obviously we don't know, but like they were not good together, and they like broke up and got back together and broke up and got back together. They like wrote songs about each other and subtweeted each other. This was like 2014 2015, like really toxic teenager bullshit. They're like in their early 20s freaking out on internet, being super famous.
Sure.
So they break up for the final time, and then like 3 months later Justin Bieber proposes to Hailey Baldwin.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
Is she one of the, like, Alec Baldwin?
Yes, she's Alec Baldwin's niece.
Okay.
So her dad is also famous. I can't remember his name. I don't remember. But, yes, Alec Baldwin's niece. And it was, like, really weird because, like, 3 months after this, like, very public on-again, off-again, multiple years-long thing is, like, kind of nuts.
Yeah.
They like went to the same church and their families were friends, and so people have always kind of speculated that it's like, and Justin Bieber said on Ellen one time it was an arranged marriage. He was like, they were cooking that up in the studio for real.
I was about to say that, but I was going to make that as a joke.
Yeah, no.
I thought you were going to say, oh, they've always kind of been connected.
No, like he's yeah, I think this was kind of an arranged marriage actually, whatever. And he's like kind of been, there have been moments where he's been like kind of mean to her on the internet, which is like weird. Hasn't seemed to be super present in their like relationship and marriage and whatever. And then there was this like whole thing back in like 2020 or 21 when like people were like locked in their homes and were super fucking bored, and people were
for what?
Yeah. And they like were scouring the internet looking up like celebrity drama basically, and like everybody was getting canceled because people were bored on Twitter basically. Yes. And people had found a lot of like Hailey Baldwin, like Justin Bieber fan behavior of her like being at his concerts and being backstage and like VIP experiences that she was at. And there was this girl on Twitter who alleges that Hailey Baldwin would DM her asking where Justin was because she was a president of a fan club, which like, hey, you're Alec Baldwin's niece. I don't know why you would be DMing some rando on Twitter asking for another celebrity's location when your families are friends. So, like, I think that girl might have been lying. But, like, whatever. So then people were like, you know, Hailey Baldwin is this like, or Hailey Bieber is this like crazy fan who like finessed Justin Bieber into marrying her and blah, blah, blah. And then there was
Just
this
like
whole...
Travis Kelce.
Sure. And then there was this whole thing about how Hailey Bieber has allegedly copied a lot of Selena Gomez's looks and like celebrity moves of like starting a skincare company when Selena Gomez like did a makeup thing. And like,
do that.
yeah. And all of this like kind of has fallen apart.
Circumstantial stuff.
Yeah. But the internet has like postured Selena as this like broken, fragile victim of a awful relationship, and Hailey as this like crazy girl, and how it's like Selena v. Hailey all the time. That's been the narrative for like years.
You know what's fun is there seems to be a common denominator here.
T. So then...
Is that a read?
Yeah, true. It is a read. So, but now, like a month ago maybe, or no, let me back up. Maybe, I don't know. Someone on the internet's going to correct me, but like maybe a year-ish ago, Selena Gomez started dating Benny Blanco, and Benny Blanco was Justin Bieber's best friend.
Okay.
Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez are now engaged.
Good for them.
So now people are freaking out on Twitter and on TikTok about like this like couple versus couple, like the betrayal and blah, 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 whatever. And Justin Bieber, I'm not going to lie, like he is acting fucking crazy on Instagram. He's posting insane shit. He's like, he's just like having like a mental breakdown, it looks like, on Instagram.
That's sad.
And it's in the middle of my pyramid because I don't think that the conversation, first of all, needs to be happening. Because once again, these are celebrities. None of you bitches know them. Like, you have a parasocial relationship with these men and these women, and you think that they're your friends, and they're fucking not. So, like, what's the point of any of this? Selena Gomez is a legitimate, bona fide billionaire. She's an unethical person because she's a billionaire.
Is she now?
She is. She officially last year became a billionaire because of her makeup company.
Jesus.
So she's not the most ethical person in general. And people want it to be that Hailey Bieber is like this evil scientist who's like whatever. And it's just like so missing nuance. No one is shitting on Justin Bieber. He's not getting nearly enough heat because he is also a bad fucking person. Like, he was fucking allegedly. It's just like, I don't know. Everyone is shitting on Hailey Bieber, and I don't really think all of it's justified. I think some of it probably is.
Justified.
Sure, but I don't think that it's all the way anyone's anything. It's 4 grown-ass adults, 3 of them millionaires, 1 of them a billionaire. They don't give a fuck what you think about them necessarily. They're too rich to care. Justin Bieber is a perfect example of too rich to give a fuck. But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of entertaining, which is why it's on the middle of my pyramid. I am entertained by other people's takes. Like, I'll sit and watch like recap videos and lock in about tea and gossip videos from other people. So that's why it's in the middle. Is because I'm like, fuck this. This is unethical. This is bullshit. Who gives a fuck about these men? And in the dark, I'm like, me. I give a fuck, actually.
I just could not relate less to
that's
that.
fair.
I just
honestly, you're better off for it, not giving a fuck about celebrity drama.
Yeah, I just don't care. Like,
that's fair.
I distance myself so much from drama in my own life, much less some people I do not care about in the least. I have nothing
totally
in common
fair.
with.
You know what? A celebrity I have recently started caring about is
Hasan Piker.
That's not recent. That's not recent at all, babe. I've been caring about that man for a long time. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I would let Hasan Piker do things to me that would set feminism back 50 years. And that's that on that.
I don't know. The 70s, you got to update that number, by the way.
The last 200. It would make the rights of women be rivaling the rights of pilgrims. It would set us that far back. I would let that man break bones in my body. It's crazy.
If you go back 70 years, you're good, because then you're in the 50s.
Yeah, 70 to 100
right now,
years.
If you say 50 years, you're in the 70s, dog. Women were like...
That's true. Yeah, Gloria Steinem would like to have a word with me. I guess that's fair. Yeah, I guess they were burning bras and stuff. I guess that's fair. Yep. No, we're not talking about Hasan Piker. We're talking about Justin Bieber. You know who I have recently started caring about is the head coach of the University of Houston's women's basketball team.
Okay.
Her style is nuts. She looks so cool all the time, and she posts on her TikTok like fan cams of herself, which is awesome. She has some editor, some videographer who's following her around making velocity edits of her.
Well, it's probably the
like
Houston
outfits.
social media manager,
I guess, but she looks fucking great, and so I do care about her now. But anyway, Justin Bieber, Selena, Hailey, Benny, it's all bullshit and it's so stupid, and I'm about to be in my 30s, so like who gives a shit? But like me a little bit. Like I give a shit a little bit, actually.
That's fair.
So what's the top of your pyramid, bruh?
The top of my pyramid is partially it's the baby shower that my little brother and his wife just had yesterday. But like they've got a son on the way. I'm gonna be an uncle, and that's dope. The baby's due date is 4 days after my birthday, so I kind of hope the baby's born on my birthday. That would be sick.
So fun.
Yeah, that's automatically like uncle and nephew bonding.
This is your first like offspring of a sibling, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, thank goodness. But
your brother shouldn't be allowed to procreate.
No, Sam should not. Sam should definitely not. Well, I told you. Never mind. We can talk about that later. If that's not an on.
I almost just spit out my water. That was crazy.
That's not an on the podcast conversation. But,
all right.
So the actual like the baby shower was fun. I helped. Like I took it upon myself. You know they put them in chairs in front of everyone like monarchs in front of their subjects. It's very weird.
Someone's got to write down who gave them what. Was that you?
That was my job.
That was my job at the wedding shower.
I was keeping cards with gifts. Like they'd open. I'd get rid of all the trash and like reorganize things so it could easily be moved out to the car. I was on it.
Yeah.
Very much older brother behavior, frankly.
Also very much what you do at work. So you're coordinating people who do that.
Yeah.
So you're leaning into your professional skill set.
I did that when I was a teacher. Just like, let's keep things neat and organized.
You love efficiency.
Why would we? Don't throw trash all over the place. Why don't I just like clean it up?
Right.
That'd be so much easier. Anyway,
sure.
The actual top of the pyramid is this running bit that we've had.
Oh my God. There are so many.
That Jacob, my brother, and his wife are both 100% in on.
Okay.
Jacob is obsessed with a particular athlete and have made the joke that they're going to name their son.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this
athlete.
Yeah.
And they refer to their child as Baby LeBron.
Yes,
which is very funny.
It is very funny
because that is not a traditionally white name.
True. Baby LeBron is crazy.
Yeah, and so there's always that. There's just like the running joke, and so. Let me show the camera, actually. If you're on audio, you're not going to get this. But all right, so this... Oh, it's fucking backwards. Whatever. It says Baby Farmer.
It won't be when I edit it. It'll be.
Okay. Well, first of all, it says... Let me get back on mic here.
They can hear you. Don't worry.
Yeah. First of all, I wish that it had said Baby LeBron.
Oh, instead of Baby Farmer.
They made the joke several times at the baby shower. They were just like openly referring to him as LeBron. They did this fun game where they had like sheets where it's like guess the height and weight and eye color and hair color, blah blah.
Right.
And guess the name, what you think it's going to be, because they haven't told anyone that. And literally, like we were going through them last night after the shower, and probably about a quarter of the room. Of like 50 people or whatever put LeBron as the name or one of the name guesses.
That's awesome.
Or I guess James. I think James might legitimately be
Slay.
One of the names they go with. But yeah, and so it was it was just really fun. But that running a running bit like that is so funny to me.
Oh yeah.
And so I love it.
When my sister and brother-in-law had one of their wedding showers, I was also in your position of like taking down the names and stuff. And someone who's obviously not that close with my family, had gifted Neely and Pratik a muffin tin, but had addressed it to Amanda and Pratik. And, like, again, not close with my family at all, obviously. And so Pratik and I joke that we have shared custody over a muffin tin. That, like, that's not Neely's. Neely has to ask for permission from me or her husband to use it because it's mine and her husband's muffin tin.
No, that's correct.
That's awesome. The top of my pyramid is 2 books that I just finished. One of them is called...
The Bible?
No. The Bible is on my DNF. The Bible is on my did not finish reading list. But I read.
Can I spoil the ending for you?
No. I skipped to the end and I was like, this book sucks, and I didn't finish it. There are 2 books. One of them is called Wild Dark Shore. I keep wanting to say Cold Harbor for those of you who watch Severance. It's not Cold Harbor. It's Wild Dark Shore.
I just realized
by Catherine McConaughey, I think is her name. What?
I just realized I haven't clapped for any audio.
Oh, well, it's okay. You want to clap now? Okay, great. We started pretty quickly after I hit record, so it's probably fine. It's really good. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I am a subscriber of Book of the Month. I got gifted some months by a family member for Christmas, and I picked it because it seemed out of all the options the closest to what I would normally like gravitate towards, but I was still nervous about it because I was like, I don't know, this is about like a family who lives on like a really remote island, and their job is to like be preservationists for like seeds for like the world.
Sure.
And they have to like watch the vault and make sure that everything is taken care of and whatever.
So that's real.
That is a real job. Yeah, that is like a real
Trump
thing.
also, I think, like either cut funding or fire the people that are responsible for that.
There is also one that belongs to the EU,
So
or not
fun.
the EU. The what's
UN?
the thing that
Nations?
England used to be a part of, but they
EU.
aren't because of Brexit. Is it the EU?
Yes.
Okay. There is one of those, and there are a couple throughout the world. So that is like a very real job. And so this family, like, that's their whole thing, and all the other scientists have like died because it's so brutal because it's off the coast of Antarctica, or the scientists have left, or like whatever. But then all of a sudden this woman just like appears on like the shore, and they're like, yo, how the fuck did you get here? And also, why are you here? And whatever.
I don't trust it.
It was so good. I cried at the end. I was reading it on a plane, and it like really rocked my shit. It was so good. If you're a mystery thriller girly, but also like, it's mystery thriller, but it's also very emotionally aware. It's not all like, and then this person fucking died, you know. It's like very compelling. So it was really good. And then I read the book Penance by a British author whose name I can't remember. Alicia something, I think. And it was also very good. I also gave it 5 stars. If you're a journalist fan, a fan of like long form storytelling, specifically nonfiction long form storytelling, I highly recommend. It's fictional, but it's written like it's nonfiction, if that makes sense. It's like written very like a reporter would write, just like a collection of notes and transcripts and stuff.
Say Eliza Clark, maybe?
Yes, I think. Let me see the cover. Yes. Eliza Clark. So fucking good.
That's actually my pen name.
Eliza Clark.
Yeah.
It was just really good, and I'm going to be thinking about it a lot for a long time. It's about a group of girls, 3 girls who set this girl at school that they did not like on fire. And the girl they set on fire obviously dies. And the reporter goes back some years later to like write a book about this story because it kind of got swallowed up in like the news at the time and whatever. And it's written just like it's real because they reference stuff that is real, like Tumblr and like the Slender Man killing or the Slender Man stabbing, because that girl didn't die. But like they reference stuff that's real, but then they reference stuff that's not real. And there's lots of good world building. And it's just so fucking good. I read both of those books last week. And it was also like, I was in kind of like a reading slump for a while because I was reading some books that were just like mid or just like straight up not good for a while. And then to like really like get out of that, I read the book The House of My Mother, which is by Shari Frankie, the oldest Frankie daughter, if you're familiar with the lore of the Frankie family. And it was really good. I always feel really weird, like, giving a review about someone's memoir, because, like, hey, that's someone's lived experience, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but if it sucks how
but
they
it's
wrote
like,
it, then...
it was, there were moments where I was like, this could have been written a little bit differently, but it was still really good. I still, obviously, really liked it. And then I immediately picked up a book called Twisted Love, and, hey, that book's about people fucking. We all know why we're here. You know what I mean? The plot is, like, comically terrible, because it's this girl... This girl who meets this man, her brother's best friend, hot, and he's like a super rich like CEO girl boss basically, and he like owns this company that like doesn't make any sense, and he drives an Aston Martin, which pissed me off because the audiobook narrator kept calling it an Austin Martin, and I was like, that's just someone's name. It's an Aston Martin. There's no U in the word Aston.
Also, how do you not know how to pronounce a vehicle?
Aston Martin, yeah, like, so you kept calling it an Austin Martin.
No,
I was like,
look
what the
that
fuck?
shit up.
Yeah,
before...
like, you're a audiobook narrator.
You're a paid actor.
And like, how did no one tell that person that they were doing it wrong? And there's
I've seen something like that kind of recently.
yeah, I believe that about Oh, you're talking about the art in my house?
I didn't
It's
say
art,
anything.
Eli. It's not meant to be edited. It's art. Anyway, there's a part in the book in Twisted Love where the the man can't like go on the date or like can't come over to bone or something because literally the phrasing in the word is he has to review business documents, and that made me laugh out loud. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I'm sorry, I'm too busy doing business.
I'm reviewing business documents. Really made me giggle. But it got me out of my reading slump. And the guy and the girl, they were fucking for real. And she like gets kidnapped and the plot doesn't make any sense. And he like rips people apart with his bare hands and then they fuck in an art gallery. Yeah, it's awesome.
In an art gallery?
In an art gallery. They are a private art gallery and there's no one else in there.
I know one piece that wouldn't make it to that art gallery.
Fucking. Speaking of art. What up, bitch? Oh, she's immediately running somewhere else. Egg.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
No, don't come up here. Don't come up here. There's too many things up here. The piglet has arrived, and also so has Rachel. Anyway, top of my pyramid are those two books. They are very good. If you're a mystery person, like mystery thriller girly, I recommend both of those books very highly. Anyway,
can we do emails?
I guess. Before we get into emails, I did want to say thank you to everybody who reached out to me last week. That after I overshared on the internet once again. It was very nice. I had a lot of people like reach out to my personal DMs. Some people in our like group DM, like people like texting me in my real life. It was very sweet. I also had a lot of people telling me that they had similar experiences with men, and there's something so very frustrating in solidarity where you're like, God damn, you mean this wasn't just me? Like, that's so frustrating. So like, thank you for being vulnerable enough to, like, share your story. Like, I very much appreciate it, and I hope that, visibility is important and solidarity is important and whatever. So that was very sweet. Thank you guys so much. Okay. We have a bunch of emails to get through, so I'm going to speed run some of these emails.
I think let's do 3 again, and then we'll move on and do 3 next week.
Okay, slay.
I think having a 3 email limit, if it gets to the point where we have, like, literally 20, we can just take a whole episode.
And just do emails,
read emails, yeah.
Well, yeah, because we skipped emails last week because we also had a bunch. So I'll read
do the 3 from
yeah.
Just keep doing 3.
This one's from Tony. He says, "Welcome back to the pyramid, girls, gays, and non-binary strays."
Yes.
I didn't say that. Tony said that.
Well, he's also said that before.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yes.
This is the local Dance with Shira of line 3 with some news on how Kira and Kalani know Tracy and Sarah.
Oh, you already read this, I think.
Did I?
I think that's why
marked it as unread. Familiar. Oh, okay. Let me go to a different one then. This is an email.
Because it talks about Arizona, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay,
I must have marked it as
I'm pretty sure you read it.
Thank you for your email, Tony. Love you. Okay, this one's from a listener whose name I don't know if I can say. But the title is The Dirt on Kira. And then it says, Dearest Amanda and the... What?
Does their name start with a C?
No.
Okay.
Dearest Amanda and the patriarchy sleeper agent she let inside her house for some reason. That eats. Sleeper agent for the patriarchy is so funny. That's so fucking funny.
Shit.
Just following
My cover's been blown.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Just following up on the latest episode, while I can confirm as a card-carrying bisexual that Ava's mom, Jeanette, can get it,
Yup.
I thought you'd appreciate knowing she is, in fact, a Trump supporter.
God damn it.
And not like Jill, where we mostly picked it up from context clues and then a little single post right near the election. Jeanette is on camera in a later season passionately defending the wall.
The cool thing is, hey, Trump supporters, there already is one.
Hey, Trump supporters, y'all are fucking dumb.
They genuinely don't know. There already is a fucking wall, you morons.
So did you know...
Also, do you think I can fix Jeanette with my penis?
No. Did you ever hear the thing about the woman who...
I think it's worth a shot.
Do you ever hear the thing about the woman who was a bus driver and an ICE agent tried to get on the bus? Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
And the female bus driver said, "Gargle my balls. I don't have to do shit."
That's awesome.
So then,
That top of the pyramid.
top of the pyramid, there was a sign I saw.
Gargle my...
He said, "You have to let me on this bus. I'm an ICE agent." And she said, "I don't."
No, you don't.
She said,
No, I
"Gargle my balls. I don't have to do shit." And then shut the door to the bus and drove off.
Yeah.
Which is true.
By the way, yeah, you do not.
You don't have to do anything.
If an ICE agent has a warrant, it must be signed by a judge.
Right.
If they just have a warrant, no, they don't.
No, they don't.
I saw a sign that said Elon can oligargle.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Elon Musk can oligargle my balls?
Yep.
That's fucking awesome. Okay, anyway. Ava herself, aka the eponymous tall girl from the Netflix smash hit Tall Girl, seems to be that's hilarious. Seems to be much more liberal. She's quite a passionate advocate for drug treatment programs and drug testing, as her brother passed away a few years ago from an accidental fentanyl OD.
Can I say something insane?
Sure. I'm so scared.
It is disappointing that so many conservatives become liberals by way of exposure themselves.
Personal experience.
Yes. They are not capable of empathy.
Yeah.
For just like, this is happening to someone else. It has to happen to them for them to actually be like, oh, wow, I guess gays are real people. Yeah. Or whatever. Like, I have a brother that's gay. If they don't have a gay brother, they don't care about the gays.
Right.
In almost any situation. I recognize that there are exceptions, and some of them may be listening, and that's fine. But by and large, that is the case, and that is insane. So she might still be like some shitty whatever, or has been or whatever, but she's like, oh, wow, because it had to happen to me. Someone close to me died, and now I care about like drug treatment programs or whatever.
Yeah, it's that idea of if it's not my problem, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway.
Tracy, Sarah's mom, is from the same studio as Kira. I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Just not in the same competition circuit. I'm pretty sure the dirt she has on Kira is her criminal history. Before the show, Kira got charged with scamming people into buying TVs on eBay and taking their money. That's so fucking lame. Kira's also a Trump supporter, by the way.
No.
A bunch of people commented that on one of my episodes where I was gassing her up a little bit too hard. People were like, Amanda's going to hate finding out that she's a Trump supporter. So, yeah, that's true.
Damn it.
Also, thank you for calling me out on standing a Trump supporter. I fully do not stand, so thank you for letting me know.
Most of these, they're rich white suburban moms that, like, generally speaking, don't have jobs. Like, of course they're conservatives.
Sure, yeah.
Of course they are.
Kira's not white, but yes, true.
I mean...
Also, Tracy and Christy were good friends off-screen. They co-owned an apartment in LA at one point. I'm also going to make the request or suggestion that you refer to new Christy as Christy for simplicity's sake. We will do that. I have to do that this coming episode. Yeah. She's a very devout Christian and has even said before that she likes a nickname. She doesn't interpret it as an insult, even though it's very much meant as one. Song of the week is Waiting on a Wish by Rachel Zegler from the new Snow White movie. The movie sucked ass, but Rachel's talent is really once in a generation, and she deserves all the love. I love you, besties, but not you, Eli. Love this listener. Slay. Thank you so much.
Can I see who said
Thanks,
that?
girl.
I won't say it out loud, but I'm wondering who said that.
I think that's their first email.
Yeah, I don't think I know that person.
Very slay.
That's awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna have to skip this one. It's so long. Okay, I'm so sorry.
We're gonna read it at some point.
Yeah. Okay, this one's kind of short. This one is an email from Brittany. She says, "Hi Amanda and what's his face. My name is Brittany. You can say my name. I have written in before and I have listened since the beginning." That's true. Brittany was one of the first followers.
Legit.
Like she is. Yeah, she's a stand for real. She said, "OMG, I listened and watched yesterday's episode at work. I work at a daycare, and I was sobbing while the kids were coming in. Even though I've never met you in person, I feel like I know you, and that you and Eli are both really cool. The fact that some fuckface said those things about you and did something like that to you is appalling. I'm very sorry this happened, and you are the last person someone should do that to. You're the nicest person I've ever heard on a podcast. LOL." Love the podcast and all the crazy stuff you talk about, and enjoy all the other stuff that's not podcast related that you talk about besides all the Dance Mom stuff. Love you guys, from Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. Love you so much. The other people who emailed, I will get to tomorrow. Next week, I promise.
The one that you said it's too long, make sure you mark it as unread. So yes,
I just marked the other two as unread.
Oh, Not to tell you how to do your job, but just helping. Whatever.
My favorite is that I'm so in your brain like that.
Yeah.
I have a beachfront condo rent fucking free.
Oh, you're
in your
implying that
brain.
the inside of my brain looks anything
It's just
like
me.
a beachfront property.
It's
No.
just me staring into a volcanic pit of heterosexual male bullshit. And me being like, yes, bubble up, bitch. And you having to anticipate my roasting when I don't even have to say anything. Like, I'm in your brain. It's sick.
I'm also capable
I
of
hate it here.
evaluating myself.
I guess, whatever, I guess that's true. Somebody did DM me on Instagram, and they were talking, we were like going back and forth about last week's episode. And then they were like, at least you have Eli. He's such a good guy. And they started casting you up, and I was like, yeah, I guess. I was like,
no, shut up.
whatever. Yeah, like, I guess it's fine. I guess, whatever. Okay, are you ready to get into the content of this episode?
Yes. You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Fuck? What do you mean,
I was about
yes?
to start a separate sentence.
What?
I didn't realize you were going to actually jump right into it. You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Thank you. What was your other sentence?
Well, I was going to say, I saved in my notes the list of all the new moms' names, and we didn't need any of them this week.
Girl.
What are we doing here?
Girl.
This show is such a disaster.
In the words of Latrice Royale, the buffoonery and fuckery is not what I signed up for.
Bro.
Get those nuts out of my face. It's literally that. It's Drag Race lore. We'll
so
get there eventually.
Crazy. Like what?
Yeah.
There wasn't. Did I miss that there was an explanation for why they're
There
not
is
there?
an explanation. It's a shitty one and it's a short one. But she says like, we'll get to it chronologically.
Okay.
We're talking this week. Oh wait, I didn't write down the name of the
Season
episode.
4, episode 22.
What's the name?
Kiss or Get Off the Pot.
Oh, that's right. That's
Which I saw that title,
That's
and in
kinda
my notes
funny.
in all caps I said, "What?"
Kiss or Get Off the Pot's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Not for children.
You're
but it's
making out with a kid on a
No.
toilet,
That part's
Amanda?
not funny. The phrase "kiss or get off the pot's" kind of funny. Okay. Previously on.
It made me so worried, and rightfully so.
Previously on.
Previously on.
We have a lot of yelling, and the new moms are crazy. The end. This week we're starting in the mirror room in Pennsylvania with Abby screaming at the children, like, "Let's go! Hurry
We're
up!
back.
Come in!"
We're
back
fucking
to
back.
we're so fucking back
That's how I knew before we even could see the kids that the new kids weren't there.
because she's screaming.
Abby doesn't scream at the
Yeah.
new kids.
Right, that's actually true. She says, like, she calls in the original team, and as they're walking in, she says it's the walk of shame. Not what that is. And
There are-
also, why are we still saying that? Well, I guess this is like 10 years ago, but
There
it's still
are
annoying.
several wildly inappropriate things that are said in this episode.
Yeah, that's like the least of our worries.
like heavily sexual like insinuations. Why are we saying this to
It's
kids?
so nasty.
The walk of shame is crazy.
Abby says that she's like, it's the ice maker. As you'll notice, Sarah and unfortunately her mother are with us this week.
That made me laugh. I was like, yup.
Really funny. And then Abby in her talking head says that she has dismissed the other team. She was like, I think she actually, I thought I had written down the excuse, but maybe I didn't. Maybe there was no excuse or no reason. But she was like, they're dismissed. Goodbye.
That's, yeah.
And all, think about how many episodes we watched of her auditioning new kids, talking about new
fucking
kids,
season.
threatening new kids, and all of that for what, like 2 weeks, 3
They
weeks?
came in, got 2 gold medals, and pieced out. She kept, of course, she kept the worst fucking one.
And the one who's already a student there.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Christy is so annoying, is because Sarah's already a student. She's like, well, she should just be on the original team.
I'm so mad about that.
It's such dog shit.
so mad.
It's such dog shit. And then Abby tells Sarah, like, they're like doing the lineup thing in the mirror room, and Abby's like, Sarah, you're a guest on this team. You need to be grateful you're here, blah, blah, blah. I hate that we have another double Christy, because we had a double Christy at one point, and it was so annoying.
Yeah.
So we have Christy and Christy.
One's
as
Christy.
we've already discussed.
Yeah.
Abby says that they are 2 for 2 losing, but it's getting second place 2 times in a row. It's not that serious. It's not like a losing streak that they can't break out of for 9 years like the Titans. It's like you've lost twice back to back. to another team from the same studio. So.
Abby says to the girl, she's like, I'm not disappointed in your dancing or hard work. I'm disappointed in your attitude after you lost. Suck it up.
And they talk about this all episode. Like, one of them, like did something so public and so egregious for losing when that's not what happened. I don't even know what they were just like kind of pissy probably.
Abby just needs something to be mad about. That's all it is. Just needs something to be mad about. Jill then says, like, they're not like upset they lost. They feel let down by you.
Get up.
And Abby then says something, again, rather telling. She's like, listen, I've given you all the tools, and, like, basically fairness isn't your concern. You don't need to worry about whether something's fair or not. You need to worry about, are you doing a great job?
Right. Pet the couch next to you.
Which there is something to be said for that. Iggy, come here.
Come here.
Come on.
He's like, I'm getting nervous because my mom went upstairs and I'm downstairs, and my mom's not downstairs because she's upstairs.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, Ig. Ig and Liza are so different. Just like in vibe, it's crazy. The only person that Liza's nice to is me, and she's not even nice to me all the time. And Iggy will literally, like, she would try to befriend a serial killer. Like, she literally doesn't give a fuck.
I'll kill some cereal.
Stupid.
What's your favorite kind of cereal?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, well, wait. Am I dry scooping it, or am I putting it in milk?
Why would you dry? What do
You know, like, headed out the door, just like...
No.
Even if you have dry scoop cereal, you're an American. I've
done it like once or twice my entire life.
Yeah, I love dry scoopy cereal.
No, with milk it's so much better.
Oh, that's a good question. What's yours? You go first.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I was gonna say that because the milk is really good after. It was either that
Reese's
or
Puffs.
No, I was gonna say Fruity Pebbles.
Oh,
I fuck with some Fruity Pebbles. I had to tell you something really gross about Fruity Pebbles later.
Let's do that later. Yeah,
Later.
Reese's Puffs my number 2. And those are maybe
Reese's
Honey
Puffs
Bunches
pretty
of
good.
Oats might be third.
Oh, did I tell you about the time about my grandma at Dollywood with Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries? Did I tell you about this?
No.
So
with strawberries, obviously.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, you're not fucking psycho. When my yeah.
Rachel says she's about to leave so that Iggy will pay attention to us.
When my family went to Dollywood a few months ago, my grandma went with us. My grandma's in her 80s, and she's an icon. She told my mom one time that she had to go to a social function and she didn't want to go. And my mom was like, well, go. She's the one, I think I might have told the story already, that she was like, well, I don't want to go, whatever. My mom was like, well, just like have, your son pick you up like a little bit early, but like go whatever. And she said, go and try to be nice. And my Nana said, I'll be as nice as I want to be.
Yeah.
On the Dollywood trip, my grandma, we went to the grocery store a handful of times because we were like staying in an Airbnb, and my grandma saw, like, Dollywood's in the middle of like literal nowhere, the mountains basically, because Dolly Parton is from the mountains. If you don't know what Dollywood is, it's a theme park about Dolly Parton that she owns. It's awesome.
The fact that exists is really
It's like so Caucasian. It's insane. But we went to Kroger a bunch during that trip, and my Nana loves Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries. And because she's like, a regular person. And the deals in that area of East Tennessee, the Kroger is so cheap there that I shit you not, my Nana left Dollywood with 13 boxes of Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries because she would game the system of Kroger points every time we went and get the perfect number that it would cut the price literally in half. So when we got back to Nashville, we like opened the trunk and there were all these boxes of cereal, and my Nana was like, hey, I can't pass up a good deal. She's like, are you kidding?
She's balling on a budget.
I love her. She's also the one who infamously got propositioned at her husband's funeral.
That's
because my grandma's a baddie.
Insane.
It's true. Someone came through the receiving line and was like, if you ever get lonely, call me. And she was like, I will not. And she never did. Anyway, okay. Oh, my favorite cereal. Oh, we talked about this. Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, for sure.
That's a wild choice.
I love Fruity Pebbles. They're so good. Or
right in with your favorite kinds of cereal.
Or Lucky
and
Charms.
Then also, Lucky Charms is okay.
I love Lucky Charms.
Well, yeah. Yeah, right in with your favorite kinds of cereal, and also give us your reasons why Fruity Pebbles should not be in the top 3. Go ahead.
I hate you. So Abby says to Maddie, how does it, or she says to everybody, how does it feel to get beat? And Maddie says, not good. She's like, well, not good.
Yeah, no one answers except Maddie, because the others are like, we're kind of used to this.
It made me think there's a moment on this season of Drag Race where the girls are really pissed about like a comedy challenge, and they think that this Queen is going to do really well. And they're like, well, it's not like Susie ate the comedy challenge. And Susie goes, I mean, I did good. And she sells merch now that says, I mean, I did good. It's awesome. And Abby says that she's mad about how they handled losing. And Jill says, like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you're mad about the way they handled losing? Like, that's fucking nuts.
There's nothing.
And Maddie, her talking it is like, I don't think Miss Abby understands how we feel. It's not that we're mad that we lost. It's like being disappointed that we lost. Like, it's not the same kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And Abby tells the girls that they need to hide their emotions, which is an insane thing to say to anyone, but especially children. Okay, now we're so back. Oh my God. I said the phrase "we're so back" and then the camera died.
Iggy just licked the inside of my mouth.
Freak.
Yeah.
Going nuts on the star on top of the Christmas tree bed.
She's wild like that.
Okay, what we were talking about. Chloe is the worst child. Yes. And Christy. Yes. So Abby gives the feedback about, like, well, you didn't turn well and blah, blah, blah. And then the next worst child is Maddie, which is kind of nuts.
And in all caps, I said, what?
Yeah, same. And Christy says in her talking head, sucks being on the bottom, doesn't it? Which I thought was kind of funny.
I mean, I like being on the bottom sometimes.
Oh, my God. What an annoying head ass. Yeah, Iggy has some thoughts. She was concerned. So stupid. Abby blames Maddie for, like, the other girls being in a piss poor mood. She says, like, whatever you do, the other kids are going to do too. So, like, you have to be the leader and blah, blah, blah. Like, she blames their feelings on her.
I think that could be a fair thing, a fair piece of feedback to give almost any other time.
Right.
But right after a loss is not a great time to do that.
No.
I think, like, she could take her aside and be like, you know, the other kids really look up to you.
Yeah.
And so, like,
that's not a reason to be on the bottom of the pyramid. That's just like personal development feedback.
Yeah,
If you make everything a sex joke, it's probably like not a super good look, which would be like personal feedback that I would give to you.
When have I name 47 times I've made a sex joke? Go.
Name anything.
You can't. Bang.
Name anything.
Name a woman.
Name a woman. And everyone always says Hillary Clinton. It's so funny.
Or Michelle Obama.
Yeah, which they are both women, so that's totally fair.
Yeah. Box checked.
Yeah. Oh my God. When we went to DC, Leah and I were like on the verge of tears that we didn't get to see the portrait of Michelle Obama in the Smithsonian Center for Art. We were like hell bent on going to see it, and it was on loan. It was somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a gigantic empty space on the wall, and someone was like, Michelle Obama's not here. And I looked at Leah and I was like,
I'm going to cry.
I was like, the portrait's not here. And she was like, oh my God. Like, she was we were both like so pissed. But we did get to see Obama, and it was a cool painting. Okay, anyway, Kendall's next. Abby says she did a nice job, but she also wants to be a part of the trio. She was a part of the trio that flopped, so it's like you can't be super good because you suck. And then Nia, it's really this whole pyramid is dog shit.
Well, it's also not a pyramid,
right? It's all the children are awful except Sarah at the top because she was a part of the winning group number last week. It's so bullshit.
I will say about Nia that, again, Abby kind of gives okay feedback, I think.
Not the worst feedback I've ever heard.
She's like, some people are born with it. Some people it's Maybelline. No, I'm kidding.
I was literally just about to say maybe she's born with it, but sometimes maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah, but she says some people are born with it and others need to work harder. Like, and she brings up the point of, like, flexibility. Yeah. She's not saying, like, talent or anything like that, like her understanding of dance. She's like, listen,
physically
maybe you're not as flexible naturally as some of the other kids are. That means you have to work harder to be as flexible as them, and that's just the way it is. And that is tough feedback to give, but it's also accurate. So, like,
it's what was that thing that Adore Delano says? She says, well, I wasn't going to tell her that my idea was better than her idea, but that was the truth of the situation. It's very that. Mackenzie is next. She was too far on one side of the stage during her solo. Also, fair bit of feedback. If you're supposed to be in the center and you're not, that sucks. And the top of Sarah because she was on
by
the group
default,
that won. Yeah, exactly.
Carried along by a bunch of girls better than her.
Exactly, and she's the only person who didn't win second place in the group numbers, so she has to be on the top, obviously.
Yeah, but you're there by default, Sarah.
Yeah,
this is not
stupid.
That an 8-year-old is going to let it go to their heads.
Sure,
but Christy,
Christy will. And also, it's weird because well, I guess since she's danced at a couple of competitions, it's probably a little bit different. But like, there have been so many times that like Kendall and Chloe and the Highland girls, rest in peace, like they weren't on the pyramid because they were on probation. So it's like,
or whatever.
Sarah should be on probation too.
Yes,
she's not really a part of the team. Abby says she was a guest.
Yeah, the movie.
Why is she on the pyramid?
It's
crazy.
Wild.
Abby in her talking head says that the other team had terrible behavior. She brings it up again. I still don't know what we're talking about, but whatever. Iggy's falling asleep.
Yeah, she's
such
fighting
an
for her
old
life
lady.
over here.
She's so cute.
Iggy.
Iggy Piggy.
She's so cute.
And then immediately she's just like ready to go. Oh.
No, she's like, I'm tired.
I just want to lay down.
Hell yeah, here
Oh, hi, little.
we go. Oh my god, the snorting.
The snarfling. It's crazy.
Oh. The worst ASMR ever.
Truly. This week we're going to Intensity Dance in Cleveland, Ohio. Very excited. We're going to see my bestie. We're doing a group number called Broken Dolls. They're going to be ballerinas that are like busted broken dolls.
We're back to the Ookie Spooky.
Ookie Spooky Megalomookie. It's
done
true.
a lot lately.
It's very true. And Abby says that the girls in the group are her dolls, which I fucking hate.
Yeah.
And I also hate that she says that they're broken. That's fucking crazy. It's giving purity culture. For those of you who grew up religious, we used to get the sex talk, and it was always this idea of like, if you have sex before marriage, you're a broken woman. The men are just like being boys. But like, I remember this is crazy, but we had an illustration in this class of all girls in youth group, and they passed around a sticky note and had everyone touch the back of the sticky note where like the tack is, and then at the end it would be like, see, like the sticky note won't stick to anything anymore because it's been used and too many people have touched it, and now it's not doing its job and it's not performing well. And that's you if you have sex outside of marriage. It's like, it's that feeling of like broken doll, broken girl. Like, isn't that crazy? I had
it's also a really bad anatomy lesson. Okay, no.
I also had a friend of mine who went through a similar thing at her church, and they passed around a flower, and everyone got to crumple up the flower.
Oh yeah,
and then at the end it was like, look at how this broken flower, like it's so fugly and nobody wants
vagina literally gets crushed and crumpled and ruined.
We're doing ballet this week. That's the point.
We are?
Yes. Abby in her talking head says that if they lose this week, it will be the third time that they've lost against Kathy. They better not fucking lose.
Yep.
And they have a duet that's also being performed this week that's called That Girl Has Got to Be Kissed. Hey, I'm scared. Hey, team, I'm scared.
There's a song, I think it might be
really scared.
by Frank Sinatra.
That's
not right. Somewhere, somehow,
like
someone
Dean
gonna
Martin
get kissed. Yeah.
That's the song that they play
Dean Martin? Yeah.
That's the song they play in the episode. That's what they dance to.
Listening.
Yeah, it's either Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin. One of those two racist assholes. It's one of them.
Also so crazy.
Also
like,
so
somewhere,
scared.
Somehow, somebody's getting kissed. It's so aggressive.
Yeah, it's
He's
so
like,
gross.
I don't even care who it is.
It's so nasty. And like Abby at this point was a guest judge on Dancing with the Stars. And they bring it up all the time. They will not let you forget it. They bring it up so many times this episode. And Abby's like, well, when I was a guest judge on Dancing with the Stars, there were all these men and they were leaders and they were strong and the woman was blah, 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 whatever. It's just like this heteronormative dog shit that's like so sick nasty. Maddie is...
Sorry,
what?
no,
I was just going to say, Maddie is in the duet. She's the girl. And the boy is Gino. And Gino used to be one of Abby's dudes. Kathy's dudes. That's what I meant.
At this point, I was like, I wrote, bro, what is this episode? And then Christy in her talking head says, Abby calls Kathy out for poaching dancers, and now she has Kathy's throwaway.
Yeah. Like, she's such a fucking hypocrite. Also, this is so messy. She's just doing that just to piss off Kathy because they're going to Cleveland.
Yes. We then moved, because I want to be the one to talk about this.
Okay, go for it, King.
They then moved to the Lido deck. Jill says, our girls aren't sore losers, and Holly, of course, agrees. Then in her talking head says, everything was designed to a T for the new team, and our girls got the sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, real quick, do we all know what that means?
Yeah, like, come on. And Kathy says it, too. Later on.
She's
like,
in the episode,
yes. You got Gino, my sloppy seconds.
First,
for the love of fuck.
Okay.
Like, let's not.
If you're a child, don't look up what that is.
Yeah.
If you are not a child, go Google, look up sloppy seconds definition.
Or
and
like
just
origin, yeah.
Look at what it says.
It's like not
Look
something
at-
we should be saying in general,
That is
but like definitely not in the context of children.
It also, kind of along the lines of what you were just saying, it implies that like not being the first means like something bad has happened and something is ruined after. I'll let you guys look that up, but it is a crazy thing to say in front of or about or involving children. It's wild.
It's a bad thing to say about adults. It's a wild thing to say about kids.
The only thing that I can say is that maybe they genuinely just heard it at one point and didn't quite know what the definition was.
Sure. They just like said it and not understanding what was going on, which I can see because they get like their whole job is talking. You know what I mean? So like eventually they're going to say some dumb shit.
Maybe.
And I don't know. I would like to think that a woman like Holly wouldn't say that understanding what it means. That's just I want to believe that. I need that to be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Christy pipes up and is like, "Hey, why are y'all so like fucking ungrateful? You know, like what the fuck is wrong with you?"
Like,
and
sorry you lost.
And Christy in her talking head says, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you? Why are you coming into our group telling us how we should be feeling? Like, who the fuck even are you?" And I have in my notes, God, I love her. I love Christy so much.
Yeah. Holly says the girls kind of seem rattled already, and Christy's like, your attitudes seem really defeated too. Just like the talk amongst the OG moms.
Sure, but like they have a reason to feel defeated, I think. That Christy doesn't. She just hasn't been through the struggle enough to be able to tell them to shut up.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
she's
just showing up and
to
complaining.
Shut up. She was just kind of saying, like, you guys, like, already very much seem like you're going to lose again.
Yeah.
Like, the attitude on the team. And while she, again, has no real right to say this, but, like, that's not wrong. Like, you have to show up for your kids, and you got to bring, like, if your kids aren't bringing the energy, you need to. And
I guess that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So.
We cut to Ohio. Let's fucking go.
Oh.
Kathy is in her studio with 3 kids, and like everybody else is gone.
What's wild about that is like Kathy says, well, someone asked like, where's the rest of the team or something, or she addressed it, and she's like, well, they're busy with other things like after school and
doing other
someone's
things,
working, and she was like happy and supportive of them, which is not something we're used to seeing.
No, and she didn't say, and they're doing it because I got them those gigs, which
like,
is what Abby would say.
She's like, they're off being kids and they have other things going on,
yeah.
so we're
so
going
it's
to be
just
fine
us.
this week.
Yeah, and she does bring in 2 other kids, so it's a total of 5, and she also has a guest choreographer named John, who's one of Abby's BFFs, and we've met him before, yes. He has insane veneers and a terrible spray tan, and his name is John.
It's if you have like one of those that, first of all, I don't love spray tan. I don't get spray tans. If you do, whatever.
Sure.
But the contrast between like the spray tan and the veneer is
like
shocking.
Borderline blue tone of the white veneer and the orange spray tan is kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's wild.
The group dance for the Candy Apples is called Conspiracy, and it's like a slight at Abby being sneaky and like, you know, conspiring with the judges.
Which
pretty
is very
fucking
funny.
And then they also have a duet that's called like Star something.
Because Abby, they think that
something.
Kathy says, I already know that Abby's going to do a ballroom duo, which she didn't. So.
No, she didn't, but whatever. We go back to Pittsburgh and we're in the group. To the group. What?
I had in my notes that Abby's always up to something with the judges, and I in parentheses put, that's a read.
That is a read. That is very much a read.
Y'all, just FYI, I think we've talked about this, but I'm always very excited when I know how to use like the Gen Z.
We're in the era of
slang.
the yassification of Eli Farmer, and everyone has to be okay with that. You have to strap in. Like we're seeing the evolution of a straight white man discovering Drag Race, and it changes your life.
Well, Drag Race
it changed my whole everything. Yeah, well, yeah, but like also. Okay, we're back in Pittsburgh. We're in the mirror room and the group is talking to Gino, and Chloe in her talking head says, it's kind of weird that there's a boy here because there's always been a group of girls. Love also that Chloe grows up to be a lesbian. So she's like, why is there a boy here? It's like
yeah, we don't need
ew.
them.
She's like, boy is gross. Boy is icky, which true. And then Christy is pissed that there's another kid who could pull focus from Sarah. She's like, why is Gino fucking here? Everything's supposed to be about my daughter this week, not about Gino.
This wasn't how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, she's like so pissy about it. And Abby's like, this duet is about making Kathy eat applesauce. And then we have a
Turn her
commercial.
into applesauce, I think.
No, she says make her eat applesauce because she wants to say make her eat shit. And she can't. So she says make
did
her
pause.
eat applesauce.
That's awesome.
Like, period.
Commercial.
And then we come back and we're seeing the group rehearsal footage, and Abby is like really nervous about Sarah not being able to keep up. They're doing ballet stuff, which we've kind of talked about this before, but like they don't train in ballet, so everything they're doing is like diet ballet sort of. And she's just kind of nervous that Sarah, because she's so young and so little, she just like won't be able to keep up.
It's
which is
also
fair.
ookie spooky ballet.
It is ookie spooky ballet. That is true. When it's Halloween season, I'm gonna make you watch what ookie spooky is a reference to. Chris,
Is it a haircut?
no.
Oh no, that's Drag Race. Never mind. I'm thinking of this really cringe video I saw one time.
About Drag Race?
No.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
This is an hour and a half of us talking about things we have to talk about later. That's all this is. Christy.
We'll get a Patreon and just release all the uncut footage.
Absolutely
all the
not.
other bullshit.
I mean
You
this.
naming your coworkers that you don't like, and
I mean this with
their
so much peace
addresses.
and love. I depend on your shit memory because I say insane things to you that you don't remember. So I can't put them on the internet for people to remember. It has to be in one ear and out the other, which is pretty easy.
I will also say that, first of all, my memory isn't awesome. But
True.
if I am supposed to keep a secret, I will take that shit to the grave.
That is true.
I've had a bunch of people like tell me that.
You're a trustworthy person.
But
part of that is because you forget. I could tell you a secret and you would forget it and take it to the grave because you forgot you knew it.
I know a lot of shit about a lot of people, and I will literally never tell anyone.
I believe that.
Under any circumstance.
I believe that. Christy is pissed because she doesn't know why people think that Sarah is in her flop era. She's like, she literally just won last week. So like, why are people like thinking that she's gonna like be such a fucking loser? And she's like, the other girls didn't win last week. Why? Y'all should be worried. My daughter's a winner. And Holly reminds Sarah that she's a guest.
Yeah, don't throw that in her
in this
faces.
house.
You're
Yeah.
a guest here.
And Jill tries to get her to calm down. She goes, hey, let's not, make a big deal about this. Like, is really trying. Christy's like, I'm not making a big deal about it. And then starts yelling.
Again, yeah. Why
Kinda
are
nuts.
you like that?
And she tells the moms that she thinks that wait. Oh, sorry, I skipped a line. Abby goes upstairs and she's like, hey, girl.
Just kind of out of nowhere, too.
Yeah. And she tells the moms that she thinks that the girls are like broken dolls because they have broken spirits. And Jill
says,
goes, how did that happen? And
Abby just goes, not
because
me.
of me.
What me? Not by me.
So funny. And she says that she wants to pull Sarah, and Christy gets mad and says that the other moms, she's like, well, the other moms are already planning on losing.
Well,
and the moms are like,
Christy,
fuck? No, we're not.
Christy says, well, the moms think that Sarah shouldn't be here. And Abby goes, I think I agree. That's it. So she brought it on herself.
Oh, I missed that. That's really devastating.
Yeah, she brought it on herself. And
that's
then
really devastating.
Christy's like, the other moms say that we're going to lose because of this number, which is a tremendous lie.
No, we
like,
fucking
she did
didn't.
it last week to the new moms,
Yeah.
too. She just lied.
It's crazy.
It's one thing to like go behind their backs and spread shit, but she's doing it in front of the people who are like, we all did not say that.
Yeah, we're all right here and know the fuck we didn't say that.
It is the level of like confidence in her ability to manipulate is crazy.
Like some men I know. That's
She's
very true.
out of her goddamn mind.
True. Christy's mad, obviously, and she tells Christy that lying isn't going to endear her to Abby. True. And Jill reminds her that she's a guest and is fortunate to be here. Also true.
Yeah.
I don't know about fortunate, but she is a guest. That is true.
Yeah.
Cut to being in Ohio. Can you hear Iggy?
Yes, I did just hear that grunt. Where is she?
Snoring. Listen.
I heard it. The mic's not going to pick it up.
Oh, that's a bummer. We cut to Ohio. We see the boy and girl duet that Kathy's doing, and she says that it's going to show up Abby's because it's going to be babyish, which I thought was like a funny thing. And then
My dear Watson.
Kathy and John are like giving for real feedback, which you love to see. And we don't stay in Ohio very long because it's not dramatic.
Hold on.
Let me see if I can turn up the gain. Hang on.
There's no way. She literally just stopped. Bummer.
I'll cut the room audio in and maybe you can hear. But yeah, we don't see it for very long because they're giving actual feedback. Then we go back to the Abby Lee Dance Company duet, and this is, I really have a hard time talking about this.
Would you like me to?
I don't really want anybody to talk about it, but I guess if you want to.
It's like the kind of the crux of the episode, though. So we're back at the ALDC, and Abby.
The ALD's nuts.
No, not now. This
Okay.
is serious shit. All right. Abby choreographs in the dance that at the end, Maddie has to like kiss Gino. Maddie then in her talking head says, "I don't want my first kiss to be like this."
Period.
Which is 100,000% fair. How old is she now? 10 or 11? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. She's double digits.
Okay. I had not had my first kiss at this point.
Me either.
But I remember for a long time being like, it's a very serious thing for a kid. Like that is.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
That is the most like physically vulnerable thing that you can like realistically
You feel like you're
do.
becoming an adult because that's
It's
what
a whole
adults
thing.
do. If you have an older sibling, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And so Abby keeps trying to pressure her throughout the dance and then says something to the effect of like, I know Chloe would have done it by now. Which is funny because actually Chloe's now gay, so
She would have done it and felt nothing.
Yeah, she'd be like, whatever. It's just
She'd been
it's
like,
part of
ugh,
the
why would I
dance.
do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's disgusting, but it's what I'm supposed to do. Maddie actually cares about boys, and so it's like a big deal for her.
Jill also.
Jill then pops up to the Lido deck and Jill goes, "Oh, Kendall absolutely would have."
Jill, that is so mean.
That's a read.
It is a read, and it's so funny.
That's a read.
Kendall
Well,
would have done it by now.
Well, I think Kendall also has a crush on Gino.
Oh,
is
sure.
what she
Sure.
says.
It was just really funny and like
Yes.
totally unnecessary.
absolutely would've.
Because it's not like we were going down the line talking about if our girls would have done it. Jill just offered that information.
Yeah,
So
it's like,
Jill, oh my
by the way.
Yeah, my daughter would have done like Jill.
Yeah, and so meanwhile, Gino is kind of staying there like awkwardly, like
That poor kid. Justice for Gino, dude.
because he's like probably excited about the opportunity to like kiss a girl he might have a crush on.
Yeah.
But then also,
yeah, Maddie says he has a crush on her.
yeah, according to Maddie,
According to
who
Maddie.
we can usually trust.
Yeah, true.
But she's like, yeah, Gino has a crush on me, so I don't want my first kiss to be like this. And Gino's just like, I'm just kind of trying to smooch y'all, like.
He's just standing there,
He's
like
"But it's
very
for-
awkwardly.
But it's for the dance, you know.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of smooch somebody, and
Yeah.
whatever. Commercial.
And then we come back,
We then come back.
and
And Maddie in her talking head says, I did not sign up to kiss Gino, and it's awkward because he likes me.
yeah, she asks Abby if she can do this thing that is done a lot of times in acting.
She puts the thumb
Yeah,
over.
where you like are holding someone's face, but you put your
kiss
thumbs
your
on their
thumb.
mouth so that when you go to kiss them, you're just kissing
Yeah,
your thumbs.
she offers to do that. The moms in the Lido deck, all like 3 or 4 of them that are sitting there, there's a quick shot of them, and all 3 or 4 of them for our video viewers, they all like shift. They're like, oh,
Like,
boy.
oh,
They're like,
God.
this is getting really uncomfortable. It's very clear that they're nervous and feeling like uncomfy. Abby then runs over and kisses Maddie. The adult dance teacher, Abby, runs over and kisses the 11-year-old on her fucking mouth. She did it on camera and is somehow not in prison for that. That is fucking wild.
Dude.
She kissed a child while that child struggled to get away from her, and everyone just laughed.
It's crazy.
Everyone just fucking laughed. Christy, in her talking head, makes light of it, saying Maddie and Abby both had their first
Yeah.
kiss on the same day.
LOL.
Ha ha ha.
LOL.
That's assault.
She says twins.
That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Oh my God, how is this show a fucking thing? Anyway,
I can't believe that Abby went to prison for tax fraud and not child abuse.
not everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, not everything
anyway,
but
so
that.
Gino kind of makes an awkward face. Whatever, we move on. He and Maddie run the dance again. Maddie gives him the quickest little peck, and this was very cute.
Yeah.
Literally sprints out of the studio. Just gives him the peck, doesn't finish
Gone.
the choreo, sprints out of the fucking room.
Poor Gino just standing there.
Yeah, with this poor kid, like he's like,
Aw,
I'm just like
Really
trying-
doing a number on his self-confidence,
Yeah,
probably.
this is all just so weird. The moms and Abby are just laughing and laughing. They get to the front desk where Maddie's like freaking out and Chloe's like, what is happening? Maddie says, I had to kiss him. I kissed Gino. And Chloe's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, I had to kiss him for the dance. And Chloe's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. She's like, you had your first kiss before me?
Yeah. And then Maddie and her talking and makes a comment about how she wished she was kissing Zac Efron.
Yeah, she was
Me
like,
as fuck.
I said, if it was Zac Efron, I would have done the
Zac
same.
Efron.
And I literally typed same, to be fair.
Yeah, Zac Efron. Hey.
How old was Zac Efron at this point?
Oh, this
Too
would have.
old.
Oh, yeah. But he would have been like, this would have been High School Musical 2, High
So
School
he's, like,
Musical
early
3,
20s or
maybe.
something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So still very much
young
like
dude,
the
yeah.
heartthrob.
Yeah, and still playing a high schooler in movies. So,
Yeah.
like, still a young
Well,
young
yeah,
dude.
okay.
So there's this conversation a lot of times.
I need to. No, keep talking. Sorry.
It's okay. In like because I taught theater. And a lot of times in junior scripts or like youth scripts, it will still have kissing written in. And there's always this discussion about whether or not you should do that. My answer is always no. Even if you're dealing with students, I'm not talking about post-sec, I'm not talking about university college kids. If you're dealing with high school students or middle school students, or younger, yeah. But like the answer is always no. Always no. And I've read a lot of theater, not to be like the most annoying person you've ever met in your life. I've read a shit ton of scripts. I've read like so many scripts. I've read a lot of theater in my life. I have never, in my experience, come across a script that is dependent upon an actual kiss. I would also argue that if your script or your artistic vision, if the like fulcrum point and the like whole reason why it's successful is because of a kiss, it's bad writing. The dance or the number or the show or whatever should not be dependent on one shock value gimmick ever. So if you think like, oh, if we take this kiss out, it's a bad show, that's because it's not written well. It shouldn't be dependent on a gimmick like making two kids kiss.
I will say the whole point of this dance, Jesus, that's loud. Sorry. The whole point of this dance is that, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, but
and so like the storyline is
I think it would be funnier. I think it would be funnier if they didn't.
Or if he kissed her on the cheek or something.
Yeah, I'm talking mouth kissing. Yeah, that's like
that implies the existence of other types of kissing.
I meant mouth to mouth kissing, not like, mouth to
like
whatever.
Butt to butt kissing.
That's not what I meant, and you know that's not what I meant.
Amanda's out here trying to promote butt kissing.
Hey.
No. Wait.
Hear me out. I'm just saying.
I would say also that like even if you think that your artistic vision can't be sacrificed, like it is kind of like you said, like first of all, the kids can just like hug and embrace and like that counts, like that still gets the message across.
I never did a show where I made my kids kiss.
Blah blah blah. Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Also, you can argue like they can't. First of all, they're children; they can't consent anyway.
True.
But even if you're like the scene typically calls for kissing, and both kids are like, "Yeah, absolutely, let's do that."
No,
like, let's not. There might be they say that they want to or whatever, but they might. You got
social pressure. You got a power dynamic thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just not do that at all.
I would also like to submit that you're not only asking kids to kiss, but you're asking kids to kiss publicly. And like my truth and my journey personally is I'm not really a PDA girl like that. I don't like the idea of knowing that people could see like my physical expression of attraction. I think that stresses me out.
As she barks at Hasan Piker on the internet.
No, but if I was ever boning Hasan Piker and he said, "Can someone watch?" I'd be like, "Yeah." But that's different. That's Hasan Piker. That's different. Stop bringing him up. You're distracting me.
Piker, barely know her.
Piker, I wish he knew me. You know what I mean? Like, damn. Okay. Anyway. What was I talking about? I got this right.
PDA.
Oh, yeah. You're not only asking kids to kiss, you're asking kids to kiss and letting people, saying, and people will see this.
Yeah.
That's an extra level that, like, I as an adult would not want that. Even as a consenting grown woman, I still wouldn't want that.
I think if I ever get married, my future wife, and I will just probably fist bump or something.
That sounds about right. I just, like, can't. Ugh, I don't know. It's so nasty. When I was in middle school theater, when I was like a little bit older than Maddie, I remember the students that were in the musicals that I was in who were the leads, because I was never the lead. Obviously, I'm too funny to be a lead. I almost just said her name. I almost just doxed myself. But my middle school theater teacher would always make the leads kiss. And sometimes she would write in a kiss if there wasn't one in there. And then to make the kids get comfortable with it, she would put them in the classroom alone. And they weren't allowed to leave the classroom until they kissed.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Theater people are fucking nuts.
She should be in jail.
Yes, she should. Her for lots of reasons. But it's just that, I don't know. It's just never really that serious. And then there are times when I think Abby manipulates on the down low, and it's a little more insidious and sneaky. But to harm someone and then immediately gaslight them and say, see, it's not that big of a deal, it's not that serious, that is so textbook narcissistic manipulator. It's crazy. Oh, see, I'll kiss you right now. See, it's not that big of a deal.
That was a huge deal, Abby, first of all.
So obvious. That's so textbook manipulation. It's fucking wild. And shame on you, Lifetime. Once again, fuck you bitches for putting that out on television. You could have left that on the cutting room floor. You did not have to air that. And you did it anyway. Many adults were involved in this, and there was no reason for it to happen and then for it to be aired. You could have just left that one out. You could have been like, hey, this is fucking freaky. Cut. Keep it pushing in the editing. No. You left that in, so fuck you, Lifetime also. You guys fucking suck.
Feel a little better.
No. I feel worse, actually. Thinking about it makes me worse.
For a few seconds, cut to the candy apples, watch the rehearsal.
I want to watch more of them.
But the thing that
they're not kissing each other.
No, the thing that I did like, though, is that Kathy and Vivi are standing up at the front, both of them with their arms crossed, standing next to each other like this, watching the dance.
Vivi is iconic. I love that kid, dude. She's so... whatever her mom tells her, and it is just awesome.
Unbothered.
No,
it's
yeah.
I don't give a shit about dancing. Nope. I just want to eat chips and
stand
here and
she's
judge
people. My mom accidentally cut my finger on her wing. I hope I can still dance. I fucking love Vivi. I love her so much. Yeah. Abby and Kathy are pretty explicitly posturing 1v1 of creepy group number v creepy group number, and then romantic lyrical solo versus the other musical romantic theater, but musical also solo. Also romantic solo. We go back to Pennsylvania. We see Gino's dad, Mickey. Question for the class: is Mickey hot? I can't tell.
I would.
I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I think Mickey's hot.
I would.
And Mickey asked if it would be cool if Gino joined the team. He's in the Lido deck with all the moms.
He's what do you guys think about that?
And Chrissy's it doesn't really matter. Abby's not looking to fill an empty spot. So
Melissa says, I'd love it.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy's yeah, we're not really looking to add anybody.
So doesn't matter. And then Mickey goes downstairs and sits with Abby. That man is a flirt, and I hate it. And I also really hate it because I know if I was in a room with him and he started flirting with me, it would work. And that's a me thing, not a him thing. You know what I mean? But he sidles up next to Abby and is hitting on her to
he wants
advance.
To
he's let me demonstrate
the kiss with Abby.
He leans in and kisses Abby on the face or something. But Gino leans in and tries to push his dad away from
Dad,
Abby.
no.
He's please stop. He's 10 and he's please, Dad, don't kiss my teacher.
That sentence also is just a
please don't kiss my teacher.
Hey, Dad, don't kiss my teacher.
Why are these adults so horny this episode? It's so gross. Really.
I don't know, man.
Me talking about Hasan Piker and then being these people are kind of horny.
Yeah, let's calm down, y'all.
I need to be euthanized. Someone needs to sedate me and put me down, probably. Never mind. I was gonna say something gross. I'm not going to.
I had a couple ideas.
Okay. Anyway, group rehearsal. Holly's talking to moms about how tough the group number is because there's ballet. Which, I kind of mentioned this before. You don't really casually do ballet.
I do.
It either is or it isn't. And so to say we're doing a lyrical number, but it's in the style of ballet is not really a thing. It seems just odd to me. And they have talked a lot about how they don't have a formal ballet teacher. It's teach ballet technique. That's not a thing. They're doing what they think ballet is, basically.
I have another note that right after the
Today.
Mickey, like, God damn it,
Hello?
stop doing that. I keep waiting for you to say something else, so I'm not talking. I stuttered once, and Amanda's like, yeah, what else, Eli? I'm like, I don't know when to start talking because I'm going to get interrupted. Mickey at one point goes back up to the Lido deck, and Christy in her talking head says, Mickey's a charmer. And the Bible says a charmer is a deceiver.
True. But also...
It's not true.
People who like he who charms is a deceiver or whatever that verse is, that's in reference to Satan. So it's like a little bit different. Like I don't think Mickey's the devil. I think Mickey's kind of slimy, but like that's kind of an insane comparison to be like a guy who seems a little too confident, probably the devil. Like, all right, maybe that's a lot, but maybe she's right. He is a man.
Christy actually is a deceiver, though.
Yeah. Also, Christy's a fucking liar.
Outright lying to people.
And like, "Thou shalt not lie" is in the like Old Testament in the what's it called, the Ten Commandments. So like, that's a real thing. Those who are whatever that like charming versus deceiving versus, that's a deep cut. So like, Christy, shut the fuck up. That's so annoying.
Yeah, it's a lot of cherry picking.
A lot of cherry picking, and I'm pro cherry picking the Bible, but I think she's doing it wrong.
I am not.
I'm very pro cherry picking the Bible.
Oh no, it's a work of fiction.
Oh, well, sure, but like cherry picking, I'm saying like there are harmful beliefs in the Bible that I don't pick, but I do think there are things in the Bible that is fictional that like you can pick and be like, oh, that's nice. Like, love your neighbor. I'm going to keep that one, but I'm going to get rid of the slavery stuff. But I don't need
the Bible to tell me to love my neighbor.
I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. Okay, we're back.
Commercial.
We go to a commercial, we come back, and then we're at the competition, and Kathy she sees Abby's fans, and she goes, Kathy, tries to get them to chant her name. I think it's so goofy. And then the ALDC bus like pulls up. Kathy drops the sloppy seconds comment about Gino, and Abby says at this point that she doesn't see a guest choreographer, she just sees new children.
Yeah.
But then we're in the green room, and Abby says that she sees in the program that John is here.
Yep.
And Abby sees John in the hallway and hugs him and says, if you care about our friendship, you'll walk away.
Yeah, under her breath as they hug.
Yeah. And I don't know if she means walk away from this interaction or walk away from Kathy, but it's very weird. And I like really need to know more about their friendship. Like, what the fuck was that comment? That's crazy.
They continued walking the same direction. Yeah, I think either way, it's insane. If she wants him to like not work with Kathy anymore, like that's his livelihood. That sucks.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you care about our friendship, don't fucking talk to me right now. We're enemies, right? Like that's also totally insane.
That's kind of nuts.
Not that we would expect anything different from Abby, but you know.
No, true. In the Candy Apples green room, Kathy says that she thinks the duet's gonna win. In the ALDC green room, Abby says that she's rehearsing their duet. And Holly's like, it's kind of obvious that Abby's nervous. Like, it's getting kind of serious. I think seeing John kind of shook her up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
We see the duet performances, and they're both really good. The Candy Apples goes first. It's really good. Melissa is, like, kind of worried. And Maddie says that she's, like, also kind of worried. And that they just need to, like, get it together.
Iggy.
Speaking of getting it together, Iggy's trying to dig a hole to China.
Yeah, she's digging. Iggy, come here. Iggy the Diggy.
I was just going to say it's Iggy, not Diggy. Get up.
Come here. Come on. Hello. Come on. Iggy. Come on. Oh.
You can do it. Wow,
yes.
Good job, Ig.
Oh, God. Hello.
Sweet baby. I do think, like, the number before the kiss is really cute. Move the Christmas tree bed. She might be kind of thrown off that that's on the couch.
There you go.
I do think the number is really cute. It's just the kiss is like kind of off-putting. Maddie is supposed to be like really stoked after the kiss is over, and Gino does this thing where he like kind of fixes his tie and he's like, yeah, and I think that's like really sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah,
like, Maddie,
aw. And then Maddie's like,
backswing, she's like,
yeah, the kiss is disgusting, but like the acting that's around it is like kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was really loud in the headphones. The acting around it is really cute.
What?
Sorry, I'm struggling here. Okay.
Flopping around.
Let's see. Oh, all the girls are like giggling backstage.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, she kissed our boy. You know. And then,
I guess they didn't see any of the rehearsals then.
Yeah, probably not. And Abby in her talking head says that Maddie was good, but she thinks that Gino was ass. She's like, I hope they were looking at Maddie and not Gino. That kid fucking sucks, basically. I'm like, damn, bitch,
It's a
that's
direct
crazy.
quote, y'all.
In the ALDC green room, Mickey says that he thinks Gino did a good job, and Abby goes, well, your opinion doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Let that man know his opinion means nothing. Slay. Very, very slay. And Jill in her talking head says that this just isn't the week to do anything that's risky. She's like, if you want to really like go nuts and beat the shit out of Kathy's team, you don't want to do new things. Like you want to do things you know will win. So like, why are we doing this?
The funny thing about Abby telling Mickey that his opinion didn't matter, right afterwards, he literally stares very dryly at her and just goes, thank you, Abby. I appreciate that.
They're us.
While blinking very slowly. You're not nearly as mean as Abby.
That's true.
She's like,
and you're not
actually
nearly as hot as Mickey.
Damn! Damn! Oh! I just fucking said blindly, unknowingly, and LeBron James just came and fucking...
Yeah. Come on. Like, you can't set me up that easy. You gotta at least make it a little bit of a challenge. Come on.
I literally... audience had just gotten done giving her a compliment, and she was like, don't forget, Eli, that you're super ugly.
Yes. Can't let you be too confident.
That's gonna be the new cyberbullying. People aren't gonna send me knife emojis. They're gonna slide my DMs and be like, hey, just FYI,
no,
I agree with Amanda.
don't tell people you think other people are ugly unless you're me doing it to Eli. We're the exception. But don't do that. That's mean unless you're unless you're me, don't do that. Keep sending him knives. Don't tell me he's ugly. That's like actual bullying. The ALDC, or no, wait, sorry. The Candy Apples, like, group goes first. And I think it's, like, a pretty cool, like, the conspiracy vibe and, like, the music and the costumes and stuff, like, looks really cool. The ALDC goes, it's also cool. I really hate the music, but whatever. Of note, in the ALDC number, Chloe slips and falls, like, on her back. But she doesn't miss a beat. She, like, gets up and keeps going. And it's not like, it doesn't detract from the dance. And right after it's over, Christy meets up with Chloe, and Chloe's like kind of crying, and Christy's like, hey, you literally didn't miss a beat. You're totally fine. Nobody even noticed. It's like really not that serious.
Yeah, you're good.
And I do think Chloe's handling it pretty well. She's like crying, but she's not like, Miss Abby's going to kill me. It's not, she's not like hyperventilating, you know?
I didn't watch much of the dance, but as I'm skipping through, I did notice that like, they look, especially Maddie, looked creepy as hell.
Yeah,
like
it looked cool.
The Maddie face was on display, y'all.
Yeah,
like,
very true.
They did look like very creepy, like old dolls.
Yeah. We get to the awards, and the Abby Lee Dance Company the duet gets second.
Ugh.
And the Candy Apples duet gets first. And I hope that it's the judges not rewarding bad behavior, because they will do that sometimes, where if they sense that it's like inappropriate, they will deduct points.
Oh, man.
And I'm choosing to believe that that's why they got second. I have no reason to believe that other than vibes, but that's what I'm choosing to believe. And Kathy in her talking head is talking about how lit it is that her duet beat Maddie specifically.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck that kid.
Yeah,
I always hated that bitch. I'm like, okay, damn.
She's going down.
But then the Candy Apples group gets second and the ALDC group gets first. So it's kind of a wash.
The old switcher. I think the group matters
They
more.
like both beat the other at something.
Yeah, but I would
But
think...
the duet was 50-50, Maddie and another kid.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah, maybe not.
It matters.
Sure. Holly in her talking head said that it's lit that they came in first, especially since Chloe fell. And she says, our girls are not broken dolls. And I think this group proved that or whatever. I'm like, period, Holly.
Yeah, sure.
Kathy in the green room is like, our group losing to Abby is ridiculous. And she's like getting kind of emotional about it. Abby in her green room says that she's just like relieved. She's like, I'm just glad it's over, kind of.
She says to Chloe, like when they get back in, she says to Chloe, like, hey, that fall can happen to anyone.
Yeah, she's like, I've seen people do that all the time. Really not that big a deal.
It really does happen.
Which is great because she's almost crucified Chloe for a lot less.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Christy says, Sarah's on a winning streak. What do you think about that? And Abby is like, well,
you should shut up.
She takes more time and more energy to teach than anyone else.
Yeah.
Abby then, out of nowhere, tells Mickey and Gino to leave immediately.
She's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and Mickey's
like, why?
What? Why? Like, what did we do?
And Christy's like, Mickey, I think Abby's finally seen the light. And Mickey, probably he's the most Italian man ever. He goes, shut up already.
Like, shut up.
And she's like, oh, no, whatever. And he's like, why are you talking? Shut up to Christy. It's so funny.
As he's walking out the door, Christy says, call me Mickey. And he goes, shut up.
Like, I love it. Christy says that Gino and Mickey are crying their eyes out in her talking head. I don't know about that.
Not. I think that Mickey and Gino both probably wanted to be a part of the ALDC.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they saw Christy for one episode and were like, yeah, we're okay.
Yikes. Yeah,
we're okay with not being a part of this. Can we ever just like not have a colossal pain in the ass mom?
No.
Why is it always, there's always one that I'm just like, I
hate you.
I hate this woman.
It's all of them except Holly and Christy. And even Christy sometimes is like,
I was pretty okay with Kelly. I was very okay with Kira.
Kelly Highland. Yeah.
Yeah, Kira was fine.
Yeah,
like,
I guess that's fair.
They're all fine, but like Leslie, oh my god.
Yeah.
Christy, what
Kathy,
are we doing here?
You hate Kathy.
She's not like she's not like harmful like there. She's just really stupid.
Sure.
Yeah, those are like harmful and bad.
Yeah, like actually like upsetting moms. Then Kathy sees the ALDC moms in the hallway, and she's like, besides the fact that I hate you and can't stand you, what the hell's going on with Gino?
I really thought this was going to be a more lighthearted conversation.
I did too, and then the moms were like, we're not going to tell you jack shit.
Yeah,
we don't owe you anything.
Go away.
And then Kathy's like, I don't need this. She says, I don't need this. I have lunch to eat. And Christy makes a gross comment about how she could afford to skip a meal. That's really upsetting and really fucked up. You should not have said that. What is funny...
Also not correct.
Also, what...
Kathy's not even...
No one should be skipping meals, period. But, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Kathy says that Christy looks like a $40 cow.
She says, have you seen your butt? It looks like a $40 cow. And then Christy very calmly just goes, what's a $40 cow?
Great question. The jury's still out.
This is what I'm talking about with Kathy. She's bad at everything.
I love Kathy.
No. That's terrible. That is bad and dumb, and she should feel bad.
A $40 cow.
You look like a $40 cow.
What the fuck is a $40 cow?
Fucking what? She's awful.
Yeah.
Just awful. Well, okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode is what's a $40 cow.
I really want to know what a $40 cow is.
Yeah, write in if you know.
Yeah, write in with your guess.
what a $40 cow is. Yeah. Mr. Farmer, what's your song of the week, bruh?
So... This already is a song that I very much enjoy.
Sure.
But I was actually chatting with one of our faithful listeners.
Slay.
Who suggested Black Balloon by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Ooh, very nice. I love that. The Goo Goo Dolls are very exciting. I
don't know about exciting, but they're a good band.
I went to see Demi Lovato a couple years ago with Bestie of the Pod, Caitlin. And Caitlin's, Caitlin has this story that she's told me like several times, this anecdote about being 14 and feeling like no one has ever felt as much as she has felt.
Yeah.
And she's said before that when she was in middle school, she would lay on the floor and listen to Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls and just cry. Song. Just lay and like feel the tears coming off her face like this.
Yeah.
And we went to see Demi Lovato, and Demi Lovato wrote a song for her now husband that is like inspired by Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls because that's his favorite song, and it's like such a fucking good song. I think it's called Forever for Me, and at the concert she mashed it up with Iris, like she went from one into the other, and I didn't tell Caitlin, and she started to hit that and I'd Give Up Forever to Touch You, and we were at the Ryman, and she slammed her hand on the pew in front of us and she went, oh my god, and she was like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, sorry, it's awesome. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, bitch, you gotta let it wash over you.
Have you seen that video, by the way, of them playing Iris?
Probably not.
And it's a video of them in concert, and they start playing right when he gets to the chorus. It starts pouring down rain.
Sobbing.
Dude, yeah.
The power of love, man. The power of music.
That was crazy. Yeah. That video is crazy. It sounds great live.
Of course. Yeah.
Sounds so
fucking
good.
course it does. My song of the week is a song called Yippee-Ki-Yay by Kesha featuring T-Pain.
Oh, dear God.
It just came out. I heard this song for the first time like a couple weeks ago, and I posted on Instagram, I need to get into someone's backyard and have a party I need to have a barbecue immediately. It's a country song. T-Pain is on his country boy shit.
He's great.
That song is so fucking good. I like need to mainline that song into my veins. It's so good. And I listened to it like a handful of times and then scheduled a party at my house. I was like texting my friends. I was like, all right, we're having a party the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. Who all gonna be there? And they all were like, me. I was like, great.
Have you heard T-Pain's cover of War Pigs by Black Sabbath?
Oh, actually, no, I don't think so.
Oh,
he's done a bunch of covers. He's a streamer.
He's good.
And he does covers. He does covers on streams.
Singer.
And I think you'll really appreciate this. He on stream will people will submit songs that they wrote and produced, and he'll listen to them and give them tips on live.
I've seen Pharrell do that.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you should change it up and think about doing this, or using this plugin or using this program or whatever. Yeah. I think that's really cool. So, listen to that song, especially if you're a person who wants to be a country fan but can't because of racism. You, like me, you should listen to that song.
Listen to 90s country.
Listen to the women of the 90s country.
Johnny Cash was outspokenly anti-capitalist and stuff like.
That's very true. The women doing country music in the 90s were literally just singing songs about how they want to kill men.
Yeah.
So I can fuck with that a little bit.
Remember when Carrie Underwood used to do that? Boy, those were different times, huh?
Carrie Underwood, what the fuck is wrong with you? Carrie Underwood, how dare you? You know what I mean? Carrie Underwood,
that's a betrayal.
The fuck? Carrie Underwood, why?
Not surprised, but disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, not surprising, but very disappointed. Not angry, just disappointed.
Follow us on socials.
Follow us on everything. Follow Eli if you feel like it. Follow me if you feel like it. Iggy, I'm sorry you didn't get as much Iggy content this week. She's been a little distractina, but that's okay. It's because I didn't pay her. She's like, I'm doing this for free. Fuck you.
Oh, something that we've forgotten for the past couple weeks that I will give one very hearty good night, Alyssa.
We haven't Have we forgotten that?
Couple episodes.
And Alyssa sent in an email that I had to skip because of time.
We'll get to
Alyssa.
We'll get to your email.
Sorry, Diva.
Hope you're about to start snoozing real hard.
Good night, Alyssa.
Good night, Alyssa.
Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye. It's funny when you tell her good night and then I scream into the microphone.
Literally start screaming? Yeah, it's crazy.